You are welcome to my channel Euthenia Network. We show you the world. On this episode, prepare to have your mind blown, folks. Today, we're diving into the wacky world of American travel preferences, where Europe somehow manages to be both a dream destination and a total nightmare. Get ready for a wild ride as we explore 12 hilariously bizarre reasons why Americans just can't seem to get on board with the whole Europe thing. Trust me, some of these will leave you utterly dazed and questioning reality itself. Number 1. The Great Metric Meltdown for Americans. The mere mention of the metric system is enough to send them into a tailspin of confusion. How can they possibly be expected to comprehend distances measured in kilometers or weights in grams? It's like trying to decipher ancient hieroglyphics, completely incomprehensible. Imagine the sheer panic of an American tourist trying to navigate European cities, constantly doing mental calculations to convert everything back to good old miles and pounds. It's a recipe for a massive headache, or should we say, a massive 0.454 kilogram ache. Number 2. The dreaded bread basket conundrum in the United States. Bread baskets are a rare sight, to see racing tables only in the fanciest of restaurants. But in Europe, they're as common as pigeons in a park. And for Americans, this presents a culinary crisis of epic proportions. Do they indulge in the carb-laden goodness before their meal, risking the wrath of their personal trainers? Or do they politely decline, silently mourning the missed opportunity to soak up those delicious bread juices? It's a dilemma that has left many an American tourist tossing and turning at night, dreaming of crusty baguettes and fluffy dinner rolls. Number 3. The staggering lack of free refills in the land of the free refills. Americans have grown accustomed to an endless supply of beverages, be it soda, iced tea, or even good old H2O. But in Europe, the concept of free refills is about as rare as a unicorn sighting. Ordering a single drink and being expected to make it last an entire meal. Blasphemy. Imagine the horror of an American tourist watching their glass slowly empty, their throat growing parched with each sip, as the realization dawns that no refill ferry is coming to their rescue. It's a travesty of epic proportions. Number 4. The perplexing toilet situation. Americans are used to their toilets being simple, straightforward affairs. Flush, and voila, the contents disappear into the great beyond. But in Europe, toilets are like intricate puzzles, complete with buttons, levers, and mysterious symbols that might as well be written in hieroglyphics. Imagine the sheer panic of an American tourist, desperately trying to figure out which lever to pull or button to press, all while the ominous sound of water sloshing around adds to the mounting tension. It's like a real-life escape room, but with far more uncomfortable consequences if you fail. Number 5. The great tipping turmoil in the United States. Tipping is an integral part of the dining experience, a way to show appreciation for good service or to passive-aggressively express dissatisfaction. But in Europe, the rules of tipping are about as clear as mud. Do you tip a certain percentage? A flat rate? Or is it considered rude to tip at all? It's enough to send an American tourist into a spiral of indecision, overthinking every single interaction with wait staff and frantically Googling tipping etiquette in insert European country here. Number 6. The mystifying lack of ice. Americans love their beverages frosty, the colder, the better. But in Europe, ice seems to be a rare commodity, treated with the same reverence as a precious gemstone. Order a drink, and you'll be lucky if you get a single, lonely ice cube floating forlornly in your glass. It's like a cruel joke played on the American palate, leaving them to sip their lukewarm drinks in a state of utter bewilderment, wondering if they've accidentally stumbled into some sort of tropical paradise where ice is a luxury item. Number 7. The great smoking debacle in the United States. Smoking in public places is about as socially acceptable as showing up to a black tie event in your pajamas. But in Europe, smoking seems to be a beloved pastime, with people puffing away in cafes, restaurants, and even on crowded city streets. For the American tourist, this presents a dilemma of epic proportions: endure the secondhand smoke and risk developing a nasty cough, or politely excuse themselves from every social situation, missing out on the European experience altogether. It's a lose-lose situation that has left many an American dreaming of the smoke-free sanctuaries back home. Number 8. The perplexing pursuit of topless sunbathing in the United States. The mere thought of baring one's breasts in public is enough to send conservative minds into a tailspin. But in Europe, topless sunbathing is as commonplace as ordering a cup of coffee. Imagine the sheer shock of an American tourist, innocently strolling along a beach, only to be confronted with a veritable sea of exposed breasts. It's like a scene straight out of a surreal dream, leaving them to wonder if they've inadvertently wandered onto the set of an avant-garde art film. Number 9. The baffling bidet conundrum. Americans are accustomed to the simplicity of toilet paper, a straightforward solution to a universal need. But in Europe, bidets reign supreme, presenting a perplexing puzzle for the uninitiated. Is it a fancy drinking fountain, a high-tech foot bath, or something far more sinister? The mere sight of these enigmatic porcelain contraptions is enough to send an American tourist into a tailspin of confusion, quietly questioning the wisdom of their travel plans and silently vowing to never again stray too far from the comforting familiarity of toilet paper. Number 10. The harrowing lack of air conditioning in the United States. Air conditioning is a way of life, a modern-day necessity as essential as oxygen itself. But in Europe, many buildings seem to have been constructed with a blatant disregard for the concept of climate control. Imagine the sheer horror of an American tourist, stepping into a sweltering hotel room or stuffy restaurant, only to be greeted by the stifling embrace of stagnant air. It's like being transported back to the Dark Ages, where the only relief from the heat is a well-placed hand fan and a steady stream of iced beverages. Good luck finding those in Europe. Number 11. The mystifying multilingual menus. For Americans accustomed to menus written solely in English, the European dining experience can be a linguistic minefield. Dishes with names that seem to defy all logic and reason, coupled with ingredient lists that read like a foreign language. Spoiler alert, they often are. It's enough to make even the most adventurous eater second-guess their choices, silently praying that they haven't accidentally ordered something deeply unsettling, like pickled pig's feet or fermented fish eyeballs. Number 12. The great coffee conundrum in the United States. Coffee is a way of life, a morning ritual as sacred as brushing one's teeth. But in Europe, the coffee culture is an entirely different beast. Tiny cups of potent espresso, mysterious drinks with names like macchiato and cortado, and a distinct lack of the beloved grande size that Americans have come to expect. It's like stepping into an alternate coffee universe, where the rules are different and the beverages are both strong and inexplicably small. Imagine the sheer disappointment of an American tourist, eagerly anticipating their morning caffeine fix, only to be presented with a thimble-sized cup of liquid that seems more suited for a doll's tea party than a human being in need of a serious pick-me-up. So there you have it, folks. 12 hilariously bizarre reasons why Americans just can't seem to get on board with the whole Europe thing. From the metric system meltdown to the great coffee conundrum, it's a veritable minefield of cultural differences and bewildering experiences. But hey, isn't that part of the thrill of travel? Embracing the weird, the wacky, and the utterly dazed-inducing aspects of other cultures. So the next time an American friend or family member expresses their disdain for European travel, you'll know exactly why, and you can laugh along with the rest of us at the sheer absurdity of it all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey through the 12 hilariously bizarre reasons why Americans just can't seem to get on board with the whole Europe thing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the latest travel guides and adventures. I've got lots of exciting content coming your way, and I can't wait to share it with you. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Let's explore the world together and create unforgettable memories.